All right, so chances are you're losing countless sales calls and high ticket B2B opportunities for your business if you are doing this one deadly sin that pretty much every single person who I see in the space is falling for. Now, in this video, I want to break down what exactly that deadly mistake is in a very simple step-by-step process through which you can actually fix this and book more sales calls, get more people to show up to your sales calls, and just make more money in general. And I know this to be true because over the past decade, we've worked one-on-one with more than 1,000 clients and helped them make more than $300 million in sales. So I have a particular insight to what works in this space. So the problem is, nobody wants your free consultation, your strategy session, your audit, and especially no one wants to fill out the contact us form on your website. So there is a solution to this, and what we call this is sell your sales call. And what do we mean by that? The idea is their time is more valuable than their money. Even though everyone acts as if their money is more valuable than their time, the reality is if they are not convinced that they're going to get something out of a conversation they're having with you, i.e. your sales call, the chances of them booking are extremely low. And then even if they book, the chances of them showing up are also extremely low. And so the first step is you need to build out what I call a call offer. This is not trying to sell them on your product or your service. This is selling them on giving you some of their valuable time to actually show up to that conversation. And so let's break this down a little more depth. So step one, and in terms of like how we're going to break this up, the first thing you need to do is actually name your call. So we need to name the call. What do I mean here? Instead of calling it a strategy session or a free consult or anything weird or boring like that, you need to give it a benefit-driven name. And so very often, a benefit-driven name can just be a repeat of what the name of your unique system or offer is, or speaking to the benefit or the outcome they will get from your service. So I'll give you two quick examples, right? So what we call our sales call is a prospecting in a box implementation call. And then we sell them on all the benefits and reasons why they should show up to that call, which we'll get to in a minute. But immediately that stands out of it's not just a consult, it's not just a strategy session, but it's, hey, you're going to see how to implement the prospecting in a box system into your business. And so one of my other favorite examples that I even like better than ours, we have a client who she works with attorneys. And so she has a call that she has named the case flow session. And again, the benefit of what's going to happen on that call is in the name of the call itself, because they're an attorney and they want to understand how to get more cases flowing into their business. So this first step here is very straightforward. You just want to give it some type of benefit-driven name for them to be able to raise their hand and go, yeah, like I want that, even if we never end up working together. That sounds like something I'd be willing to give you some time for. All right, second piece here. This is going to be what we call WIIFM. And if you've been on this channel before, you may have heard me talk about this. And this is a silly saying where what is everyone's favorite radio station? And it's WIIFM. And that stands for what is in it for me. And so what you need to do is actually list out all of the reasons and benefits of why someone would book a call with you. What do they actually get out of that conversation? And for you, what you do once you have that list will be to take the top 2 to 3 reasons and just write those out as bullet points. Now, again, if you're not sure on this, there's amazing tools out there, AI, hint, hint, wink, wink, that you can actually use to take advantage of something like this and just have it list out and name some things for you, right? If you want to get some ideas, and then make sure you polish and massage it for what your actual offer is. But here's a couple of examples, right? So the first might be, we're going to map out ABC. Or another example would be like get, a 90-day plan. So something where like, what do they actually why? Like what is the purpose of them wanting to even show up to this call? You need to make that abundantly clear and write it out and then put that in their face. And so we'll talk about that more in a little bit here in the video. All right. So the third piece here, this was number 1, Number 2. So number 3 down here, this is going to be giving them some type of tangible takeaway. So tangible, just do the abbreviated takeaway, right? What are they actually going to get for this? And so over the years, we've played with different things, and we've never personally done like giving them a free gift card, but I've seen a lot of companies do that. I don't love that because giving someone free money to just like show up to the call, they're probably just going to show up for the free money and it wasn't actually associated with the main thing you're selling. So it should be associated with whatever the product is you're selling. So a couple of examples might be like a custom GPT. Hint, hint, wink, wink. You'll probably see a little commercial break here in a moment, or if you already have, about what ours is, and you can go grab that. Hey, real quick, if you run a B2B company, so that would be a marketing agency, SaaS companies, coaches, consultants, and you're not growing as quickly as you want, I want to give you this free gift. So what our team did was take hundreds of hours of all of our best content and resources, client trainings, live event recordings, and download and basically take our brains and put them into this custom GPT we call the 8-figure B2B growth system that you can take as your own personal growth advisor. And why this is important is because if you're currently going through something, no matter what it is, the chances that someone else have already gone through that and solved it are extremely high. And so you can take this and learn from the mistakes of other people and the implementation that we've done with hundreds and hundreds of other people and use this as your unfair advantage. If you want a copy of this, all you got to do is go to the link below in the description, click on that, fill out a little bit about yourself, and we'll send you over the link. And then if you want to book a call with our team as well, there is a link down there as well. You can check that out. Our team will look under the hood. And if we can help you, more than happy to walk you through what our offer is and how it might look in your business. It could be some type of personal report, or maybe it's some type of even free tool, right? So all of these things are additional reasons why people would need to show up to the call in order to actually get that. So once they book the call, giving them the motivation to show up because you are competing with every single other thing that they have going on, their time off, time with their kids, their health, their fitness, their business, the fires they're putting out, their clients, making more money, talking to other vendors. If you do not do these 3 things where you name the call something actually exciting and clear and something benefit driven, if you do not make it clear what the benefits of that call are, and then the bonus would be if they're not getting something tangible from that, chances that they self-book and actually show are a lot lower. You will 2 to 3x your bookings by just doing this one thing alone. All right, let's talk about step 2. Step 2 is moving from this, just again, this oblivion black hole of a contact us form and moving them towards what we call a 2-step funnel. And I know there's 3 steps down here technically, but you're going to see in a second, this is really just going to be the thank you page, right? That's not technically a step of the funnel. They land on it, but they're not doing anything on that page except downloading whatever information they need. So the old way here is going to be you have a contact us form on your site that gets a bunch of information, right? Name, email, phone number, and you're like asking them to give you all this insight, but then it just kind of goes into you get an email about it goes into a black hole. Maybe you follow up, you have no speed to lead potentially, and they're just waiting for you to get back to them. And again, the chances of someone actually filling that out are pretty low because you haven't even sold them on the proposition of why you'd want or why they would want you to even contact them. So this is going to make you real sad. I wonder if I can draw on this emoji. Yeah, very sad. And very mad. Oh, cool. Moving on to what I'd recommend instead, something we call a 2-step funnel, right? So we don't want to do this anymore. This is the bad way. No bueno. What instead I want to do is this 2-step opt-in. And so what that looks like is you want to basically let them see or get some type of access or overview of your system, right? So step 1 is, see our ABC system. And then all you're going to do here is collect a name, email, and phone number, right? You're not going to make them go through a full application yet because what happens is you may only get 15 to 20% of people to actually opt in here, right? 10 to 15% of people will opt in at this stage. Then on your next page, this is going to be where you book the call, right? And not a boring call. We're going to implement the things we spoke about here in the previous step. But booking a call here is going to look like now giving them a calendar where they can pick a time. And then depending on how many calls you're already booking, if you really aren't booking that many calls at all, I'd probably just give them the calendar with some very minimal questions. But if you want to create some friction, you can, in addition, ask more questions about like current revenue, what their goals are, what their current constraint is. Are they willing and able to invest in their business? Now, if you don't have many calls booked, I would have as little friction as possible here. And then once you start to book more calls, you can add in friction to make sure you're only speaking to the right people. But at the beginning, be a garbage man. Take everything you can. Have as many conversations as you can. It's going to be helpful to get those reps in and practice and understand your ICP even that much more. And so then once they do name, email, phone number here, and again, you're probably going to get about another 10% of people to self-book here. But 10% of 10% is only 1%. So up here, if you're asking for the marriage proposal before dating, you're not sending them to name, email, phone number first, what might happen here is you're going to get like maybe 1 to 2% of people to actually opt in because it's too much for them. It's too big of a commitment and leap to go just do that. So I want to collect more name, email, phone numbers here first, because then what our setting team can do is pick up the phone and call those leads. And then once they actually book that call, they just go to a thank you page. This just sets more expectations on the call, and we can do a whole video breakdown of that later. And then this makes you happy, all right? Happy with a missing tooth. Just for fun, because I can draw on the emojis. I didn't know I could do that. Okay, cool. You're smiling with a missing tooth because you got punched in the face with a sales call. All right, moving on before I make more terrible dad jokes. If you're enjoying this video, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button and the subscribe button. It helps us reach more people, gets this video into the hands of others. And then I'm always dropping content like this every single week. So you can go just subscribe, hit notifications, make sure those are turned on and get all the latest videos and just keep getting the benefit of what we're putting out here. All right. So, and obviously my incredible art skills, which is why you're here, I'm assuming. All right. Let's move on to the final step, step 3. I didn't really draw anything too pretty here because basically what I want you to do now is you're going to swap a few things around, right? So here's your current ugly, contact us page. And this contact page is probably, on your socials, on your website, in your email newsletter. And what I want you to do is instead swap that out for all this new stuff. All right. This is the new fun, shiny stuff. So the new stuff would be the name of the sales call, the benefits, the tangible takeaways, and then pushing them to the 2-step funnel. And what I want you to do is this needs to show up everywhere. We need to make sure that we are consistently repeating the name, the benefit, and have congruency from the first thing they see all the way to the very last one. So this means, again, if we come back up here, in your funnel, on your initial page, on the booking page, on the thank you page, in your autoresponders, in the communication when you or your setting team is picking up the phone and speaking to them and confirming the call, all of that language needs to be congruent because you are consistently, again, fighting for their attention and for them to actually show up to the call. And so one of the most powerful things you can do is when you have a booking come through, you actually pick up the phone and you call them. You call them to confirm. And I always have this silly joke of like, hey, it's just Brian from POD. I saw you actually book a call with me for next week. I just wanted you to be able to kind of put a voice to the name, let you know I'm not a crazy person from the internet, and wanted to make sure you weren't a crazy person either. Was there anything you needed from me before that call so I can come prepared for you, or anything you wanted me to look at? Otherwise, okay, cool, great. I'll see you next week. 3 p.m. Monday Eastern works for you still, right? All right, excellent. I'm sure I'll get a couple automated texts from our system as well. I just want to reach out personally, so I'll see you then. Cheers. this is going to make a massive difference in people's willingness to actually book a call and even show up. So I hope this has been helpful. If you want our team's eyeballs on your company and being able to help you kind of work through the nuance of installing this type of thing, go to check out the description below. There should be some links you can check out, download a couple of our resources and go contact us. Haha, wink, wink, just kidding. There's a whole 2-step funnel here. We practice what we preach. Go check that out. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.